Welcome back, subscribers. It's Johnny Hopper, and we're talking about Ironman. First of all, Ironman didn't look near as rough as it has in the past. Normally they get a shit ton of rain, and that track just looks stupid scary with ruts from one corner through the straightaway to the next corner. Don't get me wrong, it's a national track. Just looked a lot faster on TV this time. Looked a lot drier in places. Didn't look like there was just that a shit ton of gnarly ass ruts. Before I begin, I kind of already began with the whole track breakdown. However, digressing, right? Wouldn't be a Johnny Hopper video. Look, I'm continuing to do it. Jeff Emig and the whole Langston wanted to quit. Langston quit. He didn't like what was going on. He was ready to move on. Can't blame him for it. I already made a video about that if you want to check that out. People have been giving Emig a real hard time for taking advantage of the situation. And quite honestly, let's look in the mirror for a second. Life is about opportunities, and you miss every shot you don't take. So everyone would have given him an even worse hard time if he did a piss poor job, but no, Emig stepped up to the plate. He was able to fill some shoes. They needed a commentator. Who is it going to be? Ralph Shaheen, Todd Harris? I personally would have liked to have seen Todd Harris, but I think he does a really good job. Emig stepped up. He was able to improve his situation. He may have wanted to get back in somehow, and in 2-3 weeks next season, if Emig is still on board, nobody's going to give a shit. That's just how it is. You're only as good as your last moto. Same thing in business. You're only as good as your last deal. Music, you're only good as your last song. Like, move on. He did a good job. He stepped up to the plate. End of story, right? Cool. Next one is Factory KTM. This one I might take a little bit longer. Marvin. Marvin Musquin. From what, this is all speculation, so just take it for what it's worth. I don't know everything. I tend to stretch the truth a little bit, and I put some comedic relief in there. So boom, KTM. Marv wasn't feeling too good, so he went and got a test done. Came back COVID. Well, by the CDC guidelines, shouldn't that mean everyone who's in contact with should sort of be in quarantine too? 10 days. That's Webb, everyone else on the KTM squad. And then, since it's Roger DeCoster, he's involved with Gas, and Husky. Should it be like all three teams, right? It just sounds ridiculous. Let's just cancel motocross again. We can't do that, so let's not talk about it. Like, just, okay, Marv, quarantine for 10 days. Webb, you just stay away from everybody, and we'll just act like whatever you guys do, don't go get tested if you're feeling sick. That's what I'd be telling people. It's just common cold. Now, the whole frame deal. Cooper Webb said that he changed the frame during the week. Well, I guarantee you he's not going to say that shit again on the podium.
Oh, absolutely. It's awesome. I felt like myself today, and we made some crazy changes. I changed the frame this week, and I thought Ian and Roger were going to possibly murder me.
Because people are going to protest and, probably ask questions in the pits. I've heard a couple different things. I will tell you right here that the rule says that it has to be the original model of the same manufacturer, and it further. So I will say that the rule for the frame is right here. The main frame must be the same as the original homologated model of the same manufacturer. And the homologated rule is like within 5 years. But I've also heard stories of, because KTM owns Husky and Gas, they could have it differ here and there. Webb is not going to be saying that on the podium anymore. And these rules are, I've heard it from the horse's mouth, they're more like guidelines that can be bent with approval. So let the cheating commence with everything. As long as you get approval to do so, it's not cheating, right? Well, he's obviously doing a lot better with the bended switcheroo frame, which begs the question, how often does this happen? And the only reason why we know of this happening in this situation is because somebody said it on the podium. I'm willing to bet that this happens all the effing time. I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. And talking about good old Kenny, I'm going to just give up at this point saying that Kenny's going to win the series. He's 2 full motos behind, 50 points, which I think might be close to enough if they can get to the next round, to where Dylan, if he just beats Kenny, he's the champ. So good on the Frenchman. And speaking of the Frenchman, that guy's riding style is typical European, where you don't just go out balls to the wall right away. You sort of speed up. He gets good starts, but kind of goes back a little bit, but then catches back up. Kenny started off really strong, almost both times.
Soil race recap. This is a great battle early in the race. Savacci in the lead. Roczen comes out of nowhere to get everybody slicing through the field to take the lead from Ferrandis. Yeah, Roczen goes from like 7th to 1st in a lap.
And is it the heat that got to him? I know he's been having Epstein-Barr and all sorts of different stuff, altitude sickness, and ever since those wrist injuries, he just hasn't been the same as far as endurance-wise. And I keep telling everybody that these guys ride way too much constantly during the week, and then you've got 12 nationals and 17 supercrosses. It's just, it's too much. It's absolutely too much. These guys are not superheroes as much as we want to think. They're not superheroes, so that begs the question as far as cheating. Why wouldn't you cheat to keep your body so that you can actually put through it? I mean, granted, this is going totally left field, but you look at any world war, they hype these guys up with whatever drug was available to get them to get the job done. I kind of consider motorcycle racing no different. It's going to war. You're trying to beat the other guy. Yeah, the analogy maybe doesn't quite fit in there, but I'm using it anyway. We see it as you've got Osborne's out, with back. You've got Barsha out. You've got Plessinger out with a back. You got Anderson out. You got Marv out with a sickness, which I think Marv was just almost happy to be sick because he just wants to be done. Granted, completely wrong. There's just an AC's out as well. There's so many riders that are not racing. It's a bummer because nobody can stay healthy or go the distance. Why is that? Because the series is too effing long. So that's what I'm going to say about the 450s. Let me know in the comments below. So I've got a little baby sleeping. And I'm going to start World War III if I go 10th gear pin. And I don't want to do that, because there's only a couple things I'm scared of in this life. And it's taxes and it's my wife. So we're going to mime it out when it comes to it's almost harder than really doing it.